Today I'm sharing 7 tips you need to know about Costa Rica before visiting for the first time. After you hear these 7 tips, you are going to know what to expect, how to pack according to their weather, and how to better plan your adventures when you visit Costa Rica for the first time. If you are traveling to Costa Rica for the first time, let's pop into my video. The number 1 tip you need to know before going to Costa Rica is that there is a wet season and a dry season, and our driver told us that during the wet season you can expect it to be sunny, warm in the morning, and then the clouds to roll in for around 1 or 2 hours of rain, and then it'll be over and a little wetness at night. We were there in April during the dry season, and it looks like a desert on some of those mountains, like the trees are bare. But after the first rain, you are going to see lush, green, beautiful fauna and scenery everywhere in this beautiful country. We stayed near the Liberia-airport because the beaches there are only about an hour away in the Guanacaste region of Costa Rica. There you have coffee tours, you have zip lining, you have animal park, and you have so many beaches that you could tour. Now the weather in Costa Rica can be stagnant because you are right there on top of the equator, and we had 1 day of stagnant weather. It was hot as everything, no breeze whatsoever, and humid, a lot like Houston, Texas can be. And then the 4 days after that, we had gorgeous breezy weather, dry weather. It was absolutely beautiful. Okay, before I get ahead of myself, let me start with flying into the Liberia-airport. Now, we flew into Liberia because of the closeness of the beaches, and that's where United Airlines flew from Texas. The number 2 thing to know before you visit Costa Rica for the first time is to use the restrooms on board your airplane before you land. You know, they start turning on the seatbelt sign about 40 minutes before you land. Use the restroom before then, because in baggage claim there is only a 1 stall restroom in baggage claim. Now when you leave the airport, all of that has been newly renovated within the last year, like in 2017, 2018. So it's beautiful, air conditioned, many restrooms to choose from, but there's only 1 stall in your baggage claim. And because your drive to the beaches may be an hour, that's why I suggest going before you even land, so you don't have to stand in line. You're ready to enter your vacation zone. The number 3 tip to know before you visit Costa Rica is to know mentally that the beaches are on the Pacific Ocean, and the sand is black. The water is brownish blue, but it's clean. But I just want you to be prepared mentally. It's not the Caribbean white sand, clear, crystal clear water. It's beautiful. You are going to be at the ocean. You're going to love it. It's going to be gorgeous, and you are going to be on vacation mode and not care what color the sand is or anything. I will say I like the sand better than the Caribbean because it's firm and you can really get a good walk in on that firm sand versus the dry, big granule sand in the Caribbean. By the way, my name is Laurie, and I create YouTube videos about ideas that pop into my head. Travel mostly because I'm married to an airline employee, but I also make lots of other videos. Just take a look around my channel, Laurie Pop, Ideas That Pop. And if you're on your phone, scroll all the way to the bottom to leave me a comment and introduce yourself. And the great thing about Costa Rica is your adventures can be in the sea, but they can also be inland. There are so many things you can do inland in Costa Rica. I don't know if I said this, but this was our first time to Costa Rica, and what I was most worried about was the number 4 tip that you need to know about Costa Rica is we did not see any mosquitoes. And I was so worried, and I had heard from lots of people that mosquitoes were everywhere at night. They would wake up and there were mosquitoes all in front of their bedroom door trying to get to the light. We didn't see any of those. And one thing that we came with, because my husband is a great researcher, is this insect repellent sunscreen combination that is patented. It is non-greasy, it's not lumpy, it doesn't get watery. And when you're traveling, that's one of the main things that happens to sunscreen, especially when it's super hot. Like we took this in our bag on our excursions and our tours. I will link this below because I am so highly recommending this. It is a thick lotion, and if you see, it goes on smoothly. Now make sure you buy the 2-ounce one because they also offer a 4-ounce one. If you haven't seen my travel hacks video, I will link that there, and I will also link how I pack in a suitcase. If you don't travel a lot, it might help you. But we wore this all the time, and let me tell you, One of the best things about this, it only comes in 15, in SPF 15. I was at the pool, in the pool, at the pool, walking down the beach for at least 2 hours. Only one application, and I never got burned. The military uses this because of going in the jungles. They needed the bug repellent and the sunscreen. The number 5 tip you need to know about Costa Rica before visiting is that every vehicle is going to be very well air conditioned. We took several tours. Even the drive from the airport to our hotel was completely and fine with air conditioning. I was very worried about that and pleasantly surprised. We set up all of our tours online ahead of time, and all of them except one we could pay for online fully. But one, Alex on the Beach, we paid a down payment like $20, and then we had to pay like $90 when we got there. You might want to take cash. We had an ATM at our casino in the Riu Resort, and I'll link my resort review up here for you. Bring your debit card so that you can get cash, because some of the tours do not take credit card, they only take cash. I will link down below the tour companies that we use. They're not sponsored, but these are the ones we used to give you a starting point to research what tours fit your family's activity or activity level or adventure level. A day-long adventure that we took was a riverboat cruise and a coffee tour. And we love coffee, especially Costa Rican coffee. And the CA tours who we used said lunch will be provided. And we were expecting to be dropped off at a resort and use their food, or we didn't know what to expect. They took us to a real live working farm. Homemade rice, beans, chicken from the farmyard. It was so fantastic. We had rice pudding as a dessert. They had an authentic Costa Rican house that we could walk through and see these really old tools, and it was just fabulous. They need to advertise this ranch more. So we were very, very glad and relieved that we got to experience this farm-to-table meal firsthand. And we even saw a real Costa Rican coffee maker. They use this filter. It starts off white, but you can use it for a few days and then you wash it and then reuse it, and it'll last for about a month. The number 6 tip I would like you to know about Costa Rica is to know what beach you are staying at. Like, our resort was the Riu Guanacaste, but the beach was Matapalo, and it was less touristy because there are only 2 resorts on that entire beach. Well, granted, each resort holds at least 701 rooms, but those are the only 2 resorts on that beach. And the other beaches like Coco and Flamingo, those are much more touristy. So just to know when you're researching, that would help. Because it could be raining when you arrive, and because I saw some passengers having to walk down the steps of the airplane and walk across the tarmac, I would suggest wearing Keens, not flip-flops. We were there in the dry season, so we didn't have that experience, but that thought did pop into my mind when I saw those people having to walk down the steps in the elements. It was sunny and beautiful, but anyway, something to think about. And you can wear those Keens because a lot of zip lining companies require closed-toed shoes. You can wear those Keens while you go zip lining. I was gonna wear my Activas, and my friend said, she is the one who read the website, that said they require closed-toed shoes. And I also, speaking of ziplining, I also did not want all my parts to be splayed and smushed for everybody to see, so I wore capri leggings and then a little thin pair of shorts on top of that, and it was totally fine. So fun. I highly recommend ziplining. We are not risk takers. We just wanted to enjoy a canopy tour by ziplining. Canopy tour is the same as ziplining, FYI. And the congo-trail is who we used because they were right by our resort. But when the guys at the congo-trail ziplining tour asked us if we wanted to go upside down or fly Superman style, we said yes, just to try it out. So I felt like we got an extreme experience. You can choose on your ziplining tour if you want the basic or if you want an extreme canopy tour ziplining experience. And you can also choose like from as little as a 2-hour tour for ziplining all the way to a much longer tour. Since we were not going to leave the resort very often, I didn't worry about bringing a raincoat because I didn't care if I got rained on. But I did bring a hat. I did not need it, and I thought I was going to need my hat while I was ziplining, but you couldn't have worn a hat because you're wearing a helmet for ziplining. Every experience in Costa Rica is going to be wonderful. You can research on TripAdvisor. Viator is a link of TripAdvisor, and they set up tours for you. You will not be disappointed. This is how those people make their money, how they live. So you want to support them, and they are going to do their best. Our guide with CA Tours took us by a little playground, which he called Iguana Park, on our way to the riverboat cruise. We stopped, he walked us around, taught me how to pet an iguana. It was just a little stop that he didn't have to make. He took the time and he was doing his best, above and beyond his best, to make our experience enjoyable. And we did tip him $20 each. We were the only people in his van, and you build up such a relationship with these people. That brings me to the 7th tip that you need to know about visiting Costa Rica. Bring dollar bills, bring some cash, because sometimes people forget about paying their driver $2 per bag or $1 per bag, because this is the way they are earning their money and they are working hard for it. When you drive through the Guanacaste region, you will see, any region I'm sure, you will see how poor some of these people live. And they only get paid a little bit of money. So you just want to give these drivers and these tour guides so much of your money. You want to support them. And with the driver, they are going to stay with you usually all day long for your tour, even though they may not even be the tour guide. So we tipped our driver for that day, since it was such a long day and he was with us, he talked with us. We did tip him $20 each. One thing that Alex on the Beach Tours did for us, the guy who only accepted $20 up front and then we had to pay the rest on the spot in cash only, he sent us an email the day before with the driver's picture in the email, so we knew exactly who to look for on the beach. In your resort, you might have people like salesmen in the lobby, and then some of them are on the beach, but they're legit people on the beach, legit companies with great websites. So don't discount those when you were researching. And the more you research, the more you are going to get excited about your trip. You're going to see all these pictures, you're going to hear all these wonderful adventures, and your creativity is just going to go, go, go. Let it flow. Research all you can and learn and be prepared. And I hope these 7 tips have helped you be more prepared and know what to expect and how to pack. And I hope you have a fantastic Costa Rican trip. Thanks for watching.